Hey, this is JD from Curiosity Leaf, leaving you with a review for the 1000 milliliter glass teapot, or believe it's around 30 to 33 ounces. So the top is plastic. This does lock into place, but let me take this off the tea warmer. So this does lock into place, but it's not as sturdy as I would have anticipated it would feel. It still works fine. It's functional. This is the top that actually just locks in like that. You don't twist or anything like that. There's a little, as demonstrated by the previous gentleman who also did his video review, this arrow tells you where the opening is, or you can just look on the side where that little dome is, but that just pops down. This does twist and locks into place. And I do not use the tea filter. I use tea bags, and it is because I am such a tea connoisseur that I actually can taste the metal when it comes to those tea baskets and the tea filters. But if you want to use it, go ahead. I'm just saying that I can taste when there's metal in my tea. Having said that too, the narrowness of that, it's usually large. It goes up, I believe, almost down and almost touches the bottom. The only thing that I would suggest with that, though, or at least caution you, is that with how narrow that tea filter is, your tea leaves are going to be constrained. So just keep that in mind. I primarily do gongfu brewing, which is the traditional Chinese method of brewing in a gaiwan teacup. But now that it's winter, I've been looking for solutions to keep my tea a lot warmer for a longer period of time. So I've gone back to Western style brewing, and now that I have my tea warmer, I can make a pot of tea and just take my time consuming it in the evening or morning hours. What I like about the size is that it's perfect just for me. It takes me a while to actually consume the whole full 1000 milliliters, so I typically fill it only up to the 800 mark. Now, I will say that some people probably have put this like on their gas stove up to the flame. I think it's perfectly acceptable to put it on a tea warmer. However, I will not put this on a stove burner. Even though it's advertised as, yes, it can handle the heat, typically I have a electric kettle, which I warm my water on. I highly recommend that you invest in one. Get an electric kettle. It'll warm up your water super fast, and then you can pour into here. And then in order to maintain that temperature, you can go ahead and get a tea warmer for this. So I do not put this on the stove at all. I do not heat the water up in this at all. I mostly do pour over. So that is what I would recommend as a person who avidly drinks tea and has a large collection of teapots and all of that stuff. So it's a perfect size teapot. This is the smallest one that they offer, just for individual sessions or even for two. It's enough for two people. And the fun part, of course, with glass pots is that you get to see the colors change as your tea is brewing. I will leave that. It took me a long time to finally decide. Believe me, I looked and looked and looked for different various types of designs and different types of glass pots. I really wanted a glass pot. It took me about 3 days to finally settle on this one. This is the design that I picked, and let me explain why. One, the handle is large. I have not tiny hands, so while I hold the handle, my fingers do not brush up against the hot surface of the side of the pot. So that is the number one thing. It was a handle. Number two was I intentionally wanted to find something that could fit on my tea warmer, so I had to find something with a nice wide base that is going to be flat. That is the second reason why I purchased this. So there's a lot of other glass teapot products out there that have very narrow bases because they're ball-shaped, round-shaped. So I would just recommend for the sake of stability, getting something with a flatter and wider surface. The other thing was the spout. A lot of people that I saw in the reviews of other teapot products were complaining about if you have the gooseneck spouts, those are really hard to clean. And so if you just have a typical, smaller on the rim spout like this, that's going to be a lot easier to clean than the whole tubey neck ones that you see. So that was a number one thing. The other thing too is that if this gets too hot, I can just pop off the middle pot, like the inner smaller lid that locks the brewing basket on top. And so that can let that cool off a little bit while it's on top of the flame, right? The instructions also tell you not to put the lid on if you do put this on directly to like stove heating. If you're wanting to boil your water, do not leave the lid on. You want to take the lid off. So, but also just the ease of cleaning too. It's a very simplistic design. The spout is easy to clean, the handle, and it feels sturdy. Like, it's light. Yes, it's a glass piece, mind you, but it feels sturdy. It feels comfortable. And the design overall is very modern. So that's what I like about it. Would I recommend this for other people? Yes. I definitely think that it is a great product so far, but I have only had it for a few days. I will update this review in a couple months and we'll let you know how well it's keeping up. Thanks for watching.
This is the glass teapot from COPOTEA. Beautiful little piece. A little lid for the top. It just kind of locks right in. .320 stainless from Switzerland. Got a little marker up here. Let you know where the pour spout goes. Funnel design of the top. Whoops. We'll let that steep for a while. Lock that in place. Let that infuse. Nice. Really comfortable handle, good size, excellent quality glass. Yeah, this is a winner. Nice.
So this is the teapot. As you can see, it's not very large. There's 3 corn muffins to show you. Also, I haven't tried it on the oven yet, but this is weird because when you have to put the diffuser in and then put the top on. But as you can see, it doesn't hold very much. So, oh, well, down at the top. Case in point. Nah, it's okay.
Ese fue el producto que se compró recientemente. Quiso hacer algo y explotó. Es una porquería. Nada.
I just can't believe what just happened. The thing just break and all the water goes on the ground. Yeah. It was 800, the maximum. Yeah. Just break. Crash.
माइक्रो में डालने का होगा ये टी जो गोरो वाली टी होती है